Okay, let's see if we can figure out this clusterfuck of recording.
Ruff, ruff, ruff.
Hey guys, it's your Bo the Doggo, and welcome back to Adastra. I was gonna say Amicus. Welcome to Amicus, episode 8. So, as I said in the ending of the last episode, I'm not sure where we are taking off now, because I have 2 recordings now, and I will stitch them together and then cut them at another part where I see fit. So yeah, because the recording kind of messed up last time. But in the last episode, as so far I know we kept in the other episode, is that we met Alex. We hung out with Alex for a day, and he told us about the politics and how it works being a pet, and what the wolves are actually doing to their children. And now we are in this episode, we are gonna ask Amicus about it and see what he has to say about it. So let's go. On my way through the marble halls, I pause every now and then to look at the large mural on the walls depicting everything from wolves swimming to wolves swinging swords at other canines. In the large hall is the largest mural, and it depicts 5 wolves. The features are flat and lack any sort of perspective, making the muscles look a bit askew. 2 large wolves loom over the other 3. One is white with a feminine shape, but the larger of the 2 is black and holding his paw to his chest. Is it Cass and Amicus? Around his head is a wreath. Of the 3 smaller wolves, one is also clearly feminine, while other is white. I wonder if this might be Cassius and Virginia, which would leave the remaining wolf in the middle to be Amicus. He's skinnier, and I wonder if this might be him as a child or a teenager. A glowing wreath flows above his head. I jump as someone clears the throat very loudly next to me. Uh-oh. I turn around and find myself staring at Kato, the advisor. He looks me up and down for a moment. At least I think he does. More silence. I open my mouth to respond, then remember what Amicus told me. I let my eyes unfocus and my mouth droop open a bit. Kato's ears twitch at the sound I make and then clears his throat again.
How are you enjoying your first day at the palace?
I wonder if I should keep droning, or if I should at least answer the question. I am technically a sapient, so I suppose it's okay if I sort of understand. Good. The left side of Kato's scarred face twitches as he waits for more, but I don't give him anything.
Good. I trust that Alexios showed you around the palace. It's a beast of shifting life behind these walls, but hopefully with time we will be able to take you out to the city.
I cross my eyes a little. Oh, I like it.
Yes, so where are you from again exactly?
There's something behind these false words. Something that is a little more than innocent curiosity. Big rocky planet by star. Kato waits, and again, I don't say anything more.
Do you have a name for the planet?
Yeah. Big rock planet. Not making it easy for Kato. Kato massages the left side of his forehead, looking a little bit annoyed.
Big rock planet?
With water. Kato stares.
So, big rock planet with water?
I nod dumbly. Kato sighs loudly and stalks off, not even bothering to end the conversation.
Oh, wonderful. Now I have a headache.
And with that, he disappears around the corner. I guess he won't bother to talk to us anymore from now on. I decided I did an okay job, as Kato seems to think that I am a massive idiot. I make my way quickly to Amicus' room, glad to not run into anyone else. There isn't much to do. Amicus' room is spotless, so after meandering around and smoothing the bed's covers over, I choose to sit down on the sofa and wait. Despite the fact that I've only been up for what probably been 10 hours, I am exhausted. Maybe I won't have any trouble adjusting to the shorter days. As I start to doze, there's a sudden clattering sound towards the door. I jump and see Amicus come in, wheeling a tray with several plates on top of it, heaped high with food. He grins at me, and I get the feeling of relief at seeing him. Hello! Sorry, I suppose Alex didn't tell you that they set this outside the door at the 15th hour. He treated you well? Yeah, he was nice. Amicus wheels the cart up to the sofa, and then flops back onto it next to me, making the whole thing shake. Oh, what a long day. Are you okay? Amicus opens one eye at me. Barely. Had to go over math today and my head feels like it's going to explode. Didn't help that Bulbous kept cracking me over the head with his stick when I answered wrong. Wow, that sounds harsh. Don't worry about it. It was nothing compared to the one you gave me. Amicus smirks, and I can't help but smile back at his teasing. He seems to have become more comfortable around me with how relaxed he is. I am very sorry about that. Don't be, and stop apologizing for it. Now let's wash and eat. My stomach's felt hollow since breakfast. We both go to the restroom to rinse our paws and hands in the sink before heaping our plates with food. It's more of the same with bread and meat and olives, but there's also a good amount of other vegetables and fruits that I have a hard time identifying. Amicus shows me how to combine the fruit and cheese on the bread, and I find myself really starting to like the smelly spread, as long as I ignore the smell. Compared to breakfast, Amicus really wolves down a lot of food. He probably ends up eating about 3 times as much as me. All the while, he tells me about his scary instructor and how he punished him way more than Cassius. Well, does he usually get the answers right? Well, yeah, but he should help me understand rather than smack my ears. And that doesn't help anything unless he has the information in the stick and is bashing into my brain somehow. Don't worry, I hate math too. Well, I'm better at other things like literature and history. Cassius is hopeless at remembering battles. Amicus flexes his bicep. And he can't forget about wrestling. He could never beat me in a fight. Yeah, I would think so. So yeah, he can have math all he wants. The trials don't involve that anyway. So what are these trials you guys were talking about? Amicus takes a big gulp of the wine, gasping before he finally puts the goblet away from his face. What Kato is considering using to decide the next emperor? Essentially 3 trials: music and dance, rhetoric, and finally combat. And whoever wins these becomes the emperor? Well, whoever wins 2 out of 3. Combat is last, so that if one of us wins the first 2, it won't come to that. I'm really just hoping that Kato chooses me in the next few days now that he's seen you, but if the trials do happen, you have nothing to worry about. Amicus grins confidently. I don't? I'm better than Cassie has at least 2 of these things, perhaps even music and dance. You know, I would believe you, but one thing I know about you is how, overly confident you are when it comes to certain things. Why do you say that? Our entire experience on the ship, maybe? That's different. I was doing something I really didn't understand. I understand my studies, aside from maths. Amicus leans back finally, one paw in the stomach. Anyway, how was your first day? Did Alex show you around? Amicus starts to grab the remaining food to set aside on his own plate. Yeah, and I've realized that there really isn't much to do. Yeah, it was a bit of a bad day. I have tomorrow's off studies though, so we can do something entertaining. Like what? Oh, I don't know. Go swimming, go to the bath, talk, you name it. Maybe eventually we can go to the city too. The city outside? Well, everything's outside. I mean, the one that I can see across from the lake. Ah, that one. Yes, Adastra City, the capital of our empire. Oh, Isn't it kind of small for that? I mean, it looks really nice, but it kind of looks like an average-sized city. Amicus frowns. I think it's quite large. How big are cities on Earth? I shrug. I don't know, pretty big? Millions of people? Amicus raises an eyebrow. Millions? Yeah. I wonder if the lingo is translating everything correctly. Why? How big is Adastra? The city? Just over 5 million. The wolf population is about 80 million. Oh. How many humans are there? Oh, like 7 billion? Amicus chokes. What? Is that a lot? That's preposterous. Do you not have any population control measures put in place? Well, not in most places. Amicus shakes his head. Well, you are parentless, so I guess it makes sense that your species might be so misguided. Amicus seems to try very hard to choose the last words, even though he's still being very condescending. He seems to notice my annoyance though. Well, is your species doing well? Is your planet able to sustain such a population? Sort of. I guess there are problems. Amicus strokes his chin. Well, I suppose when I become the Emperor, I could ask Paris about your species. The whole thing is a real mystery, but it's clear that we must have overlooked your people somehow. He smiles at me. Maybe we can even bring you into the fold again. Whoa. Hang on a second. Images of Roman spaceships descending from the heavens to enslave the human race, all because of me, flashed through my mind. You know, Alex told me about what you do to the other sapiens. It doesn't sound like something that humans would want to be a part of. What did he tell you? I don't know, just the whole enslavement thing? Enslavement? What you do to your children? Well, that's a harsh word for it. No, that's the right word. Humans have done the whole indentured servant thing back on Earth, and it never turned out well for the servant. Amicus' ears go down a bit. And as misguided as humans might be, we have at least abolished slavery. I notice Amicus' ears turning red. Maybe he never expected to get lectured on ethics by a human. Oh, well, I do mean to change things a bit when I become the Emperor. A bit? I mean, things just can't be changed all at once. It has to be gradual. Amicus fixes his tail in annoyance at me. Listen, I agree with you. I've been trying to change the way that we treat our children for generations. My grandfather and father worked towards it. Well, while that's messed up and definitely wrong, I think the intelligence thing might be even worse. What intelligent thing? The grimace on Amicus' face tells me that he might already know the answer. The way you stunted intelligence in the children you uplifted? Amicus is silent for a moment. I can tell that this is all making him very uncomfortable. I have to ask myself again how I got into this point. Sitting on a sofa, debating ethics with the prospective Emperor Wolf. He finally folds his arms and huffs. Again, I agree with you on all of this. I don't like the way we treat our children. In the end, I truly feel that becoming a compassionate and united empire will lead to a better outcome for everyone. It's going to take small steps, but please understand that this is something that we mean to fix. And stop saying you like I did it. I was born into this. I've come to realize how much of an open book Amicus is as a person, so I don't doubt his words. Well, as long as Cassius doesn't become the Emperor. Amicus snorts. Not a chance. Well, if he does, it sounds like he's going to reverse all of that. And I'm saying that there's no chance of it. Wait, how much has Alex been telling you? It was just a short conversation and I asked him about the Empire. I didn't, but I don't want to get Alex in trouble in case he wasn't just supposed to tell me. Cassius seems like a terrible person, by the way, and I'm just not talking about his personality. He wants to keep people enslaved. It's complicated. He's just very traditional, but again, there's no chance. I sigh at the wolf's overconfidence, but he does know his brother far better than I do. Well, I'm at least glad that I'm behind the right wolf in getting myself home. The right wolf? Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine being under your brother. Amicus glances at the plates he'd been building with food. Speaking of, I'm going to bring these to Alex in the garden. Did you want to accompany me? I run my hand through my hair, feeling the grimness of 2 days with no shower. Actually, can I use the shower while you're gone? I feel kind of gross. Oh yeah, sure. Just step right in and it starts up. There's a screen on the wall that controls the temperature. It has a color spectrum that you can just drag your finger across. I'll figure it out. Ah, right. Well, I should be back by the time you're finished. And with that, Amicus balances his plate of food in his paws as he strides out of the room, leaving me to go into the bathroom. I quickly use the toilet again, suddenly glad that I don't have to use a public toilet like the one I've seen in drawings of the Roman history books. The shower is easy enough to understand, and the water is immediately warm and pleasant, so I don't have to bother with the temperature. There are several glass bottles of soap, so I choose the one that smells the best and give myself a quick wash. When I'm done, I grab a towel off the wall and dry off before wrapping it around my waist, but the idea of having me step into my underwear has me hesitating. Instead, I open the door and am greeted by the sight of Amicus sitting on the edge of the bed, looking off to the side, a paw in his lap, holding a brush. His head snaps to my direction before he immediately averts his eyes. Sorry, I didn't mean to see. I thought you would be dressed. Hey, it's fine. I have a towel on. Slowly, Amicus turns his gaze back to me, eyes drifting down my torso before immediately snapping back up again. I thought you hated any sort of nudity. Not really, just the genitals. And even then I don't hate it. It's just more private. Oh. Amicus seems to be staring at me, and I start to feel a little self-conscious. Is everything okay? Amicus looks away again. Oh, sorry, I'm not used to seeing you like that. I've only seen humans with clothing, so I just imagine you to always be like that. Well, my clothes are dirty, so I was going to ask you to maybe get in some clean ones. Maybe at least until you can get me that tailor? Oh, of course. Come, send us some robes from the storage. Children's robes, please. Yes, Amicus. Thanks. Of course. I stand there awkwardly for a moment for a few seconds before Amicus seems to snap back to reality. Up that goes gravity. Until Amicus seems to snap back to reality again. He holds up the brush. Anyways, I thought maybe you would like to be groomed too. I feel it's only fair after what you did to me. Oh, well, it's only on my head. All the easier for me then. Amicus grins. Well, alright. I walk over to the bed and sit with my back to the wolf. Amicus adjusts his seating to face me more directly, then starts to run the brush gently through my hair. We sit in silence for a bit, and I start to enjoy the feeling of the brush, especially the way the firm bristles run across my scalp, giving me shivers up and down my neck. The place is a bit lonely, so having a friendly conversation with someone other than Koma is a bit of a novelty. Amicus chuckles. And that was probably why I was having so much trouble focusing on my studies today. I was so excited to come back home and speak with you. Aww. Hearing that makes me feel a little bad for the wolf. I suppose being the protective emperor doesn't allow you to have many friends, and being in such an empty palace definitely seems lonesome. I guess this is why Alex told me basically the same thing. You're fine, and I didn't mean to be harsh earlier. I know it's not your fault. No, I think we're on the same page on that one. All the more reason to unite against Cassius, eh? Oh! As if he had forgotten something. Amicus' other paw comes around my side, and on his palm I see 2 purple grapes. I managed to snap a few from Alexios' earrings. He wasn't too happy about it. Haha, you want one? What a douche. Seriously? I take one, more out of being nice to Amicus than anything. But when I bite it, I can't help but notice how juicy and sweet it is. Amicus talks to me with a grape in his mouth. I don't know why, but these grapes earrings always taste the best. And by the way, if you don't mind, I invited Alex to our outing tomorrow. Cassius is going away to do some speeches, and is leaving Alex behind for once. Oh, of course, we got along really well. I lean my head back, allowing the wolf to continue the brushing. Your fur... hair, you call it? It's not like a wolf's fur, but it's rather nice. I smile. Thank you, Amicus. If you like, I can do this for you every day. I feel that's fair. I have to admit, I really like this, so I accept. This is so cute! Yeah, sure, it feels really nice. I hear some thumping sounds, and I imagine that it's Amicus' tail wagging against the bed. Ah! So, washing you, brushing you, and making you smell nice are all of my duties? Well, that and accompanying me to important meetings and public outings. But all you do during those is to stand there and look civilized. Yeah, that's what you keep telling me. This all seems pretty easy. Though, there is one thing you can do for me before we go to bed. What? a full body massage? I look over my shoulder at him. Or we can just stick with the other duties. I laugh and Amicus' ears come back up. I would love to, is what I would say. He continues to brush me for a while longer before finally setting it aside. There, looks much better now. I gently run a hand over my hair, and I have to agree that it feels softer than I ever have felt before. But anyways, Bo, I'm looking forward for these months ahead with you, even though we're starting a bit, poorly. I look back at the wolf, at his earnest but tentative smile. He is definitely a man of contradictions, rash half of the time, but considerate most of the time. I'm not sure what to make of him, but at this point, I feel like I can at least trust him, and that's saying a lot after what he put me through. I smile back. Yeah, me too. Is this the... we found a place to stop! So as I said in the beginning, I've basically recorded these 2 past episodes in one go, more or less. So I'll see where I cut it up. I'm not sure about it, but I think this episode will be about the same length, maybe around 30 minutes or so, I hope. So yeah, let me know what you think of these lengths of the videos, and if we should try to keep in this length. So yeah, and if you enjoyed it, please leave a like. And yeah, I loved you guys, so take care, and remember that you are loved and appreciated, and that you should be proud of who you are, because I want to see you in the next episode. Bye! Woo! Next episode we're going to the beach with my 2 favorite boys. Yay!